Hello and welcome to Talking Good Game, and it is the preview of West Ham Red against Leicester City. David Moyes' first game in charge at the London Stadium. We're here to talk about it over the next 10-15 minutes. Charlie, what's your thoughts on Leicester City?
I still can't really predict them, to be honest. Like, they had that amazing season, then they dropped off and did terribly, and it seemed like, oh, Shakespeare's come and now it's great again, and then it's gone terrible. I don't know. They're sort of unpredictable, but they're one of those teams who have a couple of players who on their day can just obliterate defenses, and our defenses don't seem to be great any day. So I'm a bit concerned in that sense.
And before I get on to Tom, Charlie, are you aware Shakespeare is no longer the manager?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he came in and it seemed all rosy, but then it all went tits up again. Like, I can't figure out what their deal is.
Tom, what about yourself? What's your thoughts on the Foxes?
Yeah, I mean, that obviously amazing season. And since then, really, they've been a bit disappointing, mate. This season, they're disappointing still. Obviously, and I think we're a bit worse than them. They're not doing fantastic at the moment, but they've still got some dangerous players, Gio, you know, which we know about, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. So, yeah, they're in a bad season, but not as bad as us.
Talk about them, Tom. Danger men. Who are they? Who do you fear the most from Leicester?
Well, the one thing that our team doesn't deal well with, Gio, is pace, you know, and they've got arguably two of the quickest people. Well, Vardy's obviously the quickest. I think he's like a little whippet, even though he's a bit of a cheat sometimes. But then you've also got the skill of Mahrez, who's also got pace. But yeah, and that's not a good recipe for us, to be honest, Gio.
What about yourself, Charlie? Is there anyone you would pick out at Leicester to watch out for?
Much the same, to be honest with you. I think just their pace is. They won the season on blistering counter-attacks, and we can't transition from attack to defence with any kind of pace. We're about the most glacial team in the league. So even if they turn up, they're going to be away. If they sit deep and then look to just ping us on the counter-attack, I can see them scoring quite handily in that sense.
The only player I would add to that is Gray. I think he's got pace as well. He's finally getting a regular run in that team, and him and Mahrez either side with Vardy in the middle of them is quite scary. To be honest, I think they're a decent team. Actually, I think they've got a lot of talent in that team. I think they've been underachieving while they've been at the bottom. Well, I don't think they're a Champions League team, etc. And that was a fluke. I certainly see them as a top half team anyway. What they've got on paper. Tom, we're just sat and praise Leicester to an extent. Do they have a better 11 than us? Because quite often West Ham fans, including us lot, say we probably have arguably the best 11 outside the top six, and Everton maybe. Are we actually better than Leicester, or do you think they've got a better 11?
Well, I mean, you just mentioned three. We've just mentioned three players there, Joe, and they're getting to our starting 11. Who would you rather play, Schmeichel or Joe Hart? I'd rather play Schmeichel, to be honest. You've got youth. I mean, nothing wrong with Joe Hart, but yeah. I mean, that's four players you could argue that get into our first teams. That's a good question, mate. I think our team's more older, which is not a good thing. No, yeah. They've got probably a good 4 to 5 minimum players that get into our first starting 11.
I thought so too. That's why I asked you that interesting question. Anyway, on Friday night before the game, we have our boats as usual. If you'd like to come along, they're open from 5 o'clock. We've got the barbecue, we've got the bar, nearest bar to the ground, just a 2-minute walk. If you sit in the east stand, there's 3 or 4 of you sit in the west stand. But the tickets for the boats are below if you fancy joining us. Now it's time to talk about West Ham. Charlie, I normally start at the back, but I'm going to start at the other end. Andy Carroll, he was crap on Sunday. Hernandez, it looks like he's going to miss Friday again. So you've got Carroll, Martinez, Sacco, and Ayew if you want to play him as a striker. Who would you be playing up front, Charlie?
If we had the option last week and I was David Moyes, I would have started Andre Ayew. But given the options now and considering the injuries and that, I don't see why we wouldn't just give Martinez a shot. You know better than anyone that I'm not a person who particularly rates him. I don't know that much about him. He's got a decent scoring record, but I've never been like, oh, we need to start Martinez. That's not been my battle cry as such. But I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, do you know what? If we can just have someone up front who actually looks like they care and not care for a fight, actually care to play football, then why not give him a chance? Why not give him a shot? And he might come good for us.
Tom, same question. Who would you be playing up front?
Yeah, I mean, Martinez has done. I mean, the amount of goals he's scored in the youth team is unbelievable, you know, Gio. So Martinez is a good shout. I mean, it's who do you choose, really? Between me personally, Andy Carroll doesn't start. I'm sorry. The only thing he's done good this season is mugging the fan base off, which, to be honest with you, it's not a good thing, especially when we're in the position we're in. So no, Andy Carroll hasn't. No, he shouldn't start for me. The worrying thing is though, Moyes seems to like a sort of like target man, doesn't he? The Fellaini sort of type player, and he fits that bill nice, Andy Carroll. But when you get Andy Carroll in your team, as you see against Watford, you just go long ball it. You know, it's boring, it's negative. We need to start playing the ball on the floor. So Martinez is a good shout, and he's done nothing wrong. I mean, Sacco. I mean, if you put Sacco, to be honest with Gio, the three that I mean, priority order, I probably would start Martinez. And then then Sacco. That's my priority order.
I would go, for me, I use the first name on the team sheet on Friday. I'm a big fan of IU. I've always defended him when he gets his critics on here. Sometimes right, sometimes wrong. But I don't know if I want to see him as a striker because Moyes doesn't play two up front. So I don't know if I want to see IU as the only striker. I don't know if that would work because he needs to be able to drift. He needs to be able to move. And I think if you put him up front on his own, he's sort of restricted. He has to stay there a little bit. I hate him, but I actually would play Sacco. I think it's process of elimination. It can't be Carroll. Martinez, you can't make a case, but what happens if he doesn't play well? It's unfair on him to an extent, and he didn't put him on against Watford, which was the perfect scenario for David Moyes. We were getting beat. He had a forced injury to make. Tom, you want to say something, and then we'll move on to the rest of the team.
Well, he's got to get his chance finally, Joe. And the December fixtures we've got coming up are awful. He's not going to get a chance against Man City. He's not going to get a chance against Arsenal. He's not going to get a chance against Chelsea. So Leicester, I mean, you can argue with Watford game as well. And Leicester, these are sort of two games. Yeah, I know we're in a perilous position, but what more? I mean, the only one to score a goal, I think. I know Ayo scored a few goals, and apart from Sacco scored that winner for that game. Carroll's done nothing. So, I mean. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's probably going to go a bit more over sort of like experienced than young. Yeah, so you are right. He's probably going to start Ayew. But what more has Martinez got to do?
I don't think he has to do anything, but I think the best situation that could possibly ever be for bringing Martinez on was on Sunday when we were getting beat. He was the only striker on the bench because Sacco was already on the pitch, and Moyes had to make a sub because Arnautovic was rolling around like his arm was ready to come off. But it turns out he just hurt his thumb a little bit. But Arnautovic is fit. In case you don't know, the team use Arnautovic is fit for Friday. I use fit. Antonio's touch and go. Charlie, do you put Antonio in? Do you start Arnautovic?
Flipping it, probably. I think Arnautovic should start. I think that was probably one of his best games last week, and so I think. Even if it is a hand injury, you know, Vardy played an entire season with a cast and won the league, so he should be all right with that. So I would give him the go-ahead. Antonio, no, not for me. I think you wait. It's with the run of fixtures that everyone keeps talking about, we're going to need our best players raring and ready to go. Antonio is a known quantity. David Moyes will know about him. He's got into the England squad, for goodness sake. Everyone knows what he's about. He doesn't need to learn anything. I would leave Antonio out, personally.
Tom, middle of the pitch, if we do bring in play sort of Lanzini central and bring in an extra attacking midfielder as expected, one extra person I haven't asked Charlie, but I'll come on to in a minute. Which centre midfielder do you drop? Obiang Kiate and Mark Noble. Which one do you take out?
It's got to be QA, mate, for me. Yeah, the guy hasn't done nothing last season. This season he's been even worse. If you ask me which one's the worst out of them three, for me, it's QA, so you drop QA. Tom,
Masuaku, arguably looked just as good as anyone, if not the best player when he came on Sunday. Not the first time he's done that. Would you start him on Friday? And if so, do you start left back or left wing?
Well, Arnautovic is going to be the left wing up, and he's a bit injured. Maybe they might put him on the bench, not actually. So if that's the case, it's for me, and put Masuaku in that position. He's done. I think he's more of a left midfielder / winger than an actual defender, anyway, Gio. So why not? You know, he's got pace, which we want. Behind Lanzini, he's one of the only creative sort of players we've actually got, to be honest, Gio. So he can't do no harm, can it?
Charlie, the one player I actually thought that should have started on Sunday, and there wasn't much of an outcry on social media as I expected, was Declan Rice. Reed somehow started despite playing in 2 different continents in the week and then coming back to a 3rd continent. Would you stick with Rice and Ogbonna? Do you think they did enough? Or Reed and Ogbonna, or would you be bringing in Declan Rice? James Collins, by the way, is apparently a no-no for Friday, although he's back in training and doesn't look like he's in contention to start. So what would you do?
I think we're in a fight, and Leicester is going to be a difficult game. And as such, I would probably even consider starting him as part of if we're going to play 4-5-1 or whatever again, possibly even play Rice in the midfield. We're going to need someone who's going to be able to break down their just everything and get the ball out quickly. And that's what Rice does well. He's not going to overplay it. He's not going to be difficult. So I think for me, he's someone who I would include somewhere in the starting 11. If Reed is going to play again, then I assume they think he's fit enough to carry on doing that and doesn't have any fitness concerns with the travel and whatnot. And I still think he's probably our best centre-back. So for me, I'd probably even include Rice in the midfield, to be honest with you.
I mean, you could put Chiati at the back as well. I think we need pace at the back, though, with Jamie Vardy, Mahrez and Gray. I think it would be naive not to think about who can run the fastest, if anything, out of that back four. Tom, away from the football pitch to the side of the football pitch, Watford, lots of protests, talk about protests and chants, etc. on Friday. What's your opinion on it on Friday? Do you think it's necessary and you're going, so will you be joining in, etc.? Or do you think we should leave it be because of the game and that?
Look, Joe, at the end of the day, people pay their money, right? So they're entitled to do what they want. Do I think it's a bit dumbfounded, like a bit silly? Maybe, but I mean, I think it's getting to that point now. People are going to start showing their frustration. They pay the money, so they're entitled to protest. People don't want to protest, haven't got to protest, you know. So, I mean, I'll be going Friday. I won't be protesting, but it's not because I don't want to. It's because of the fact that I just want to get to the game. To be honest, I don't particularly feel like going, Gio. You know, at the moment, I'll be totally honest with you. I don't feel like going. I'm not getting off work early. I'm going to finish work at 4 or 5 o'clock. Get up there, get home, and get up there. You know, it's literally before kick-off, stay for the game, have a beer, and then go. You know, and that's not like me usually. You know, part of going to a football game is just the part before. So if people want to protest, you let them protest. You know, as long as it's amicable and peaceful, and the message gets across, then I can't see the problem with myself.
Right, well, we'll talk about if we're confident ahead of Friday night in a second. But before we do that, we do a charity bet with Betway every week. If it wins, they put 50 quid on. If it wins, the whole money goes to a charity. This week on Friday night, we're doing... I reached out to the forum members. This is the forum's bet, just as much as my own thinking. And that is both teams to score over 2.5 goals, over 9 corners, and Jamie Vardy to score at any time, and that's 11-2. So if it comes in, 325 quid goes to charity from Betway. Charlie, are you confident?
No, not at all. I feel like there's something to be got, and if he needs a statement win or a statement performance, it's going to be now. So if we're going to see some sort of fired up David Moyes, whatever the hell that looks like, it's going to be on Friday. But to say I was confident would be lying.
Tom, what about yourself? You're not looking forward to the game. I assume that means you're not confident, because if you were confident, surely you'd be looking forward to it a little bit. So are you confident on Friday?
I'm not confident at all, Joe, to be honest, Joe. But I'll tell you something now, there's got to be a turning point in our season. You know, we can't, we're at the bottom. Not the bottom of the what I mean by bottom, we're at the bottom, you know, and the only way is, as they say, is looking up the ladder. So, I mean, I'm not confident. There's got to be a turning point in the season. But I'll tell you what, though, G, I'll take it right now. If you offer me a boring game and it's 0-0 to the 89th minute and we get a deflected goal from the halfway line, I'll tell you what, I'd snap your hand off for it now, mate. I don't care we get the 3 points. It's getting to that stage now. Do you know what I mean? I think we've gone past that. We just need to start getting points on the board, and we need to get them on there urgently. And I don't care we get the 3 points, mate, but it's a must 3 points this Friday.
I have to agree. I mean, I remember doing this for the Watford game. I was thinking, oh, this will be the hardest game to predict because we don't know what David Moyes is bringing to the table. I'm actually finding this one even harder, even though we saw Sunday. I'm thinking, well, that didn't really fit with what I was expecting. I didn't think we'd win on Sunday, but I didn't think we'd turn up with no effort. While we had chances, I don't think we were really running ourselves into the ground, which is what I was expecting. I know we did 5 kilometres more on Sunday than we've done in any other game this season, but I didn't see it. It's almost like they must have been running about for the sake of running about. I think they must Caro must have been running along the defence line when we were defending or something, because I didn't see, there was no obvious signs that we were running more. For this game, my biggest worry is Leicester's strength, pace, counter-attacking football, is our weakness, defending against pace and counter-attacking football. And it scares me. When I asked about do they have a better 11 than us, and I know you said 4 or 5 of their players getting the starting 11, to me, it's almost like 5, maybe even 6 of them getting to our starting 11. That's what worries me a lot now. I mean, it's somewhere I would have probably said about 4 at the most, but now, as the season's gone on, I thought, oh, this is not good. So I'm not confident either. But as you said, this is bad. This is our 13th game of the season. This is now win ugly time. This is, like you said, if you have to park the bus and grab and do a smash and grab, even at home, that's what we're going to have to accept. And I think most fans will take it. That's how bad it's got. It's worrying, because if we get beat on Friday, our next game's Everton away, and then we've got Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City. I mean, this is bad. This is worrying times. Charlie, prediction time. This could be. I don't think we've ever done a show where we've all predicted us to get a defeat. There's always at least one optimistic person. I've messed up. There's no optimistic person. Charlie, what are you predicting for Friday?
This is the worst thing, is the optimist inside me goes, oh, it'll be 1-1. What a great result that'll be. I think in reality it's probably going to be 2-0 to Leicester. I think they'll get a goal early and we'll just crumble like we usually do, to be honest.
Tom?
No, this is going to be. I'm going to be. Oh, you want optimism, G? I'm going to give you optimism. Make myself look like a bit of an idiot, but hey, let's do it. As I said, Joe, I'm going to take the 1-0 for West Ham. You know, I'm going to take the hostile atmosphere in the ground. Everyone booing the players, booing the ball. You know, it's going to be hostile. It's going to be ugly. You know, it's going to be ugly in the stadium. It's going to be ugly in the ground, in the stand. It's going to be ugly on a pitch. And we're going to get a late goal and win the game. I don't care who do it. It's got to happen. You need to see some fight. If the players are going to watch this, we need to see you give some fight. You're on great money. You're on fantastic money. You know, you're playing for a fantastic club. Just put a bit of effort in. For Christ's sake, we just want to see something and just do it. Do you know what I mean? Just start getting some points on the ball. You know, if you get 3 points this week and we get 3, and we know we managed to nick a draw at Everton, you're going into the big games with a bit of confidence. You know, we need to see some fight, Gio. You know, so I'm going for a 1-0 West Ham.
I totally agree. I think I don't agree with your score. I think we'll concede. But I think the thing is, though, with Sunday, we created chances to score. We did create chances. Kiati could have had 2, and Arnautovic could have had 1. You know, we did create them. So that's sort of given me a little glimmer of hope. And we've got Ayew back. I think that is massive. I think Andre Ayew coming back on Friday is huge. We might have Antonio as well, even off the bench. I think those 2 players can make a difference. They can change the dynamics of our team massively. I think maybe Sunday, I always say that even when you get beat, you can take stuff from the game and you can use it as a motivational tool. And that's what they've got to be doing in training this week. They've got to be saying, look, you didn't turn up on Sunday. You've got to turn up even more now on Friday. You've got to do something. And when I did a cup of tea with Gonzo during the week, it'll be on the screen, one of these sides in a minute. Go watch it, because we went over the 10-point pledge from the board, etc. But what I was saying was all this, David Moyes talking about the chants from their way end not helping the team. David Moyes should be saying to the team, listen to the chants from their way end, because all you're going to hear is passion. All you're going to hear is heart and love, etc. from the fans. Although they're not singing songs of support for you, they're singing because of what they feel for the club. And they need to take that energy from the crowd and put it into their own game. And if they did it, the fans will respond. There's no doubt about that. If the players turn up, the fans will get behind them. There's just no doubt about that at all. But anyway, Christy, that got a bit ranty. My score prediction, 2-2. It's my favourite score prediction. I like a 2-2 result. But I just think there's goals in both teams. But I also think there's leaky defences at both sides of the pitch, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depends what way you want to look at it. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And let us know what 11 you would like to see. Tom would like to see Masuaku. Tom and Charlie would like to see Martinez. We want to see Declan Rice. I want to see Andre Ayew. Charlie doesn't want to see Michael Antonio, last year's Hammer of the Year. I know him. Hopefully Arnautovic's thumb's a little bit better so he can turn up on Friday. But drop your comments below. Let us know your score predictions, and we'll be back on Friday night straight after the game on this channel doing a live review talking about the 90 minutes. Catch you in a bit.